Hi everyone, welcome back to your channel. I'm here with another tutorial from series of the ESP32 IoT monitoring. So if you already watched my previous videos about this tutorial, you understood that we explained how you can configure the ESP32, which including the software of that, and also passing this information to MQTT broker, how we can save the data into InfluxDB, which is also one part of this cycle from the MQTT broker, save information to InfluxDB, and how we can fetch the data from InfluxDB to the UI. So this is the part which today we are going to discuss, and that is about how we can fetch the data from InfluxDB to the UI bars. If you're interested in this topic, please stay with me until end, and let's get started. So this is the UI of that. It's not actually including all parts which I have shown in my first video. I will drop all this link at top of this video, then definitely you will find, and if you didn't watch, you can watch them. But let's go to the coding part of that to see that how is it. We have some library which is required for this coding part, that is related to the Flask, JSONify, and render to template. This actually is for the UI base. If you have the HTML file, so definitely you need this render template. And there are some library for InfluxDB to fetch the data. We have this CORS, which is communicating the backend to the front end. So this is also required. And datetime, we need it because we want to use the time zone and also this time series data. So it's also required for getting this data, and also for the Python time zone. So these are the library which is required, and you should have it. And this part actually is the normal for any kind of the Flask DB, and as well as the last part, which is normal, and you should have it. And if you have the specific port, then definitely you need to define here, like me, because I have the several server at the same time, so I selected 5001, but basically the default is 50,000, Then this CORS, which is required for communicating between the backend and frontend, it's also necessary. Then you have some information related to InfluxDB. So this is the URL base of the InfluxDB. That is the token which you need to create in your InfluxDB and drop it here. If you don't know how you can create this token, I would drop the link at another video about the InfluxDB. Definitely you can watch that video and to see that how you can generate the new token. And then also we have here InfluxDB organization, which is one part of the InfluxDB, and the InfluxDB bucket name. Then we have the information related to the Influx client, which again, it's related to URL, the token, and organization. You need to define it here. And also you can also that to not define all this information here. This is another secure way which you can define it in separate document and then refer to this information. This is also possible. If you are interested in this method, also please let me know. I will make another video regarding this security part, because sometimes dropping all this information in one code, it's not the right approach. But anyway, this is also one of the case. You can use it. And then there is then local time zone, which is based on your time zone. You can change it, whatever it is, in your location. And also that you can define the route for default. We can say that the URL which can communicate and drop this template. This is the template UI, which is defined for beautifying of data, how you can capture this information. Don't worry for this HTML. This here is available, although we will not explain about the HTML part, but I will drop this code part of the HTML into GitHub. Then you can find this HTML as well. So there is another endpoint as a data which can fetch this data. So we are defining some the argument here, which is talking about the get underscore data, and it's querying the data in InfluxDB. These are the method which you query in InfluxDB. So it's very straightforward. You can also Googling about the InfluxDB query. You will find all these cases, but very simply, I have defined the one argument here, and then this is the name of the bucket. From this bucket, which is coming from the InfluxDB bucket. Okay, we already defined it here. That's a sensor data, and then there is the range. They're saying that, for example, in last 2 minutes, and it can filter the measurement, and this is the measurement name for that particular we can say measurement in InfluxDB, and that is the latest value of that. So this will happen for temperature, for humidity, and also for history of the data, which is capturing last 15 minutes, and it's also sort the data based on the timestamp and descending as well, and the limit with the 10 record. This is something which is needed for historical data to the fetch, if in case you are requesting for the historical. Then we will drop all this information to the different we can say bucket or argument, as the temperature result, humidity result, and also for the historical, the same method. Yeah. So here also I dropped some of the comments which you can also get to know about this part of that. It's belonged to, for example, past 15 minutes and so on. Then here I consider as the temperature and humidity first, giving the one value as a 0. And then we are saying that if the temperature result and the length of this temperature result greater than 0, and the first value of that dot record, which is captured, then drop the first result as a get value into latest temperature, which means that I provided some example here to make sense for you that how what's the meaning of that. So it says that if data is exist, and then extract the value, the first record, because that is the first record, yeah, is the 0 argument, the first record, and in the first table, then suppose this is the one example of the message in InfluxDB, which is coming with the time, with the field as a temperature, value, and definitely location. So then they said the get value. So exactly this value will be captured and come to the latest temperature. This is something which you could find it in InfluxDB. And based on this coding part, it will capture the value of the 23.7. You know? The same situation for humidity. And also we have the temperature as a history, which is coming the data with the timestamp, getting the current timestamp, and then it's converted to UTC, and this is the format of the time which you need to actually polish it. Otherwise, the time format, it's a little bit strange. Then it will get the value which already discussed about that. And here, for this part of the code, says that for checking any result, and if, because there is the for R, this is the one we can value as an index in temperature history result, which is the first one. And if the temperature history result is exists in this value, I mean it's existing this first value, then it will drop the value. Otherwise it will come as an empty. So the purpose of that is just only to say, okay, if there is such this data with this time stamp and so on, then it's come as a value. If there is not, then just the value come as an empty value. And this is for temperature history and humidity history. Then the next one, which is talking about the history data as a list. Here we can you will see this code, but before this coding part of that, I have an example here which very clearly explained about this scenario. So let's first go through this code to explain it. There is an index, and suppose this index, the first one is 0, and then it said that, okay, if it's the range of the maximum length of the temperature history and length of the humidity history, which is suppose that your temperature history have the two values as a time stamp and the value, okay, and humidity history has only one value. Then as per this line, the for index I in the range maximum, the length of the temperature history and humidity history, because there is a 2, here is a 1, the range will be 2, okay. And then here you will see here the range maximum 2 and the 1, the range will be 2. And then we have this 2 means 0 and 1, which means 2 times this loop will be run. 1 time for 0, 1 time for 1, okay, until here. Then we have the temperature entry, which is the it's coming with the temperature history I, which is the index, the I, it could be the 0 or it could be 1. If it's 0, they say 0, is less than the temperature history, then it will drop the value, otherwise it will drop the NA. What's that means? It means that suppose I have the index 0, then this index the 0 less than 2, yeah, that's correct, it's true. Then the temperature entry will come as the temperature history 0, which is the first value. This is the first value. And then here, because of the 0 is less than 1 is true. So the first value will be shown because already 0 less than 1 and is available. For the humidity history, the same, because 0 less than 1. So we have the 21, we have the 40. This is the first. The second iterate will come to the I or index 1, and then when you are coming to the temperature history, 1 is definitely less than 2 because here I have the 2 values, and then it's come true, and the temperature history as a 1, which is this one, because this one was 0 and this one is a 1, the value will come as a 26. But for humidity history, because there is no second value, so index the 1 is 0, or index 1 is null because there is nothing, so it will come as a NA. Okay, so all these we can say this part of the code is talking about this story, and we formulate it in this way to get the data with the temperature and humidity. And after this part, we have this JSON file which can convert the NA to 0. Whatever we are getting as an NA, we will convert it to 0, and we already have then exception for the error. Yeah, and as I explained, this part is for the normal, or we can say default part of the InfluxDB, and you can also remove if you don't want for the debug. And this is the port which is I put it as a 5001. And here you have the HTML part of the code. We will not go through this HTML, it's just for beautifying part of that. And this is a result which you will find it here because there was some chart part, there is a table, and the temperature and humidity are available at here. Okay, I think this part already is completed, but there is another section, because if you watch the first video of this tutorial, there was some other section related to the threshold, how you can configure the threshold. The next video I will explain about that threshold, how you can configure this threshold, and will change the color in we can say the UI part, each combination of the two sections. Okay, thank you again for watching this video, and if you think this video was helpful for you, please don't forget to like, and if you didn't subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. And I would be glad if you have some idea, or if you have any question, please drop your questions in comment below. It will encourage me to work on this we can say for improvement of the tutorial, or maybe you have some suggestion about the tutorial. Definitely I will take into account. Thank you again, and see you next one.